Sony A7 IV now have a dial where you can switch between still, movie, and S&Q mode, which means that you can have total of 9 different custom camera settings saved onto this camera. Let's talk about it. Hello Epic YouTubers, Mike here, and today I'm going to quickly show you how to set up your memory recall feature on your A7 IV. This camera definitely has so much feature and so much ability to do so many things, but you always have to dial in a certain settings, and the memory recall feature prevent you from spending time every time you want to shoot or change something. It's a feature where you can have your current or certain settings saved onto a memory slot on a dial where it indicates 1, 2, 3. So basically it saves everything that you have set up on the camera, including your display settings. For instance, your focus setting, your focus area setting, autofocus, ISO, aperture, shutter, and white balance. All that stuff is going to be saved onto one of these 1, 2, 3 dials. Just for demonstration, I'll be on movie mode and I'll show you how it's done. So first thing that is important, you have to select which exposure mode that you're going to be saving in. For instance, if you want full manual control, you'll be starting off from your M dial, or if you want shutter speed priority, you'll be starting at S and aperture A. For me, I'm going to be setting up on as manual for my video, so I'm going to put it as M. So once you have everything all dialed in, let's go to the menu. So it's going to be on first shooting menu, number 4, shooting mode, and you're going to see something called camera set memory. Before I go into that, I'm going to show you this exposure control type. This is something that I mentioned earlier where you have to pick which exposure mode that you're going to be shooting in. It's because once you save the settings onto the dials, you cannot just change the exposure mode. So let's say I have it on manual right now, I won't be able to change it to shutter or aperture. I basically have to go back and set the dial first and then resave the settings onto the memory slot. So once you have everything set up, go to camera set memory or setting memory. Here you can pick either 1, 2, 3 to save your settings. You'll see M1, M2, M3, M4, which shows you the storage on your memory card. And I don't really recommend you to save onto the M1 to M4 because if you frequently format your card, your settings will be wiped out. So I would recommend you to set up your stuff between 1, 2, or 3. So when you're done, you just click OK, it will register. And here is a tip. So let's say for me, I already saved the 4K 24 on my dial 1, and you want to make the second number 2 dial as 4K 60. So you just go to 1. When you change it to dial 1, you can see on the left up corner it says MR1. It basically means memory recall 1. And from here, let's just change the frame rate and few settings so you can shoot 60 frames per second. So you will go to image quality, and you will go to movie settings, and you will change to 60 frames per second to 200 megabits. And since it's 60 frames per second, you want to adjust your shutter speed to 125. So now this setting is for your 4K 60, but we're still on dial 1. But here you want to go back to the memory recall shooting mode, and you want to set the memory to number 2 now, not 1. So once you hit 2, it will register. Now if you go to 2, it will show you the 60p frames per second settings, and if you come back to 1, you'll still have your 24 frames per second. So that's just a little quick tip where you can switch just certain settings to put it onto the other one. Here's a thing where you won't be able to make a change, and that is a custom white balance. So basically, if you want to set a custom white balance while you're on one of the memory slots, it's grayed out, and if you try to set it up, it's gonna say you're in a memory recall. You won't be able to change it. So I don't know why Sony has been not letting us set custom white balance on memory recall setting. Don't know why. It happens to all the other Sony cameras. Yes, the video was pretty obvious, but I just wanted to, help out those who don't know about this feature or don't know how to set up this feature, because it can get a little bit intimidating when you first get a camera and there's so much settings to go over. So that's it for me today. Hopefully this video was helpful. If you guys did like my video, please give me a like. And if you guys want to see more camera related stuff or A7IV related video in the future, please subscribe. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.